Hi all. I know I'm a few days late on the update. Been busy. But let's start with what is usually the garlic bed, and it gets transferred into whatever is left over bed. Mark and I restaked all these tomatoes. They came from broken off limbs, and that I grew roots and then put them down. And it looks like most of them are Amishes, but they're doing pretty good. They were all in big bush, and I couldn't see my trail because I like to keep a space. So I know I've got to weed eat. I've been doing weeding on the other garden, but it helps me keep an eye if that vole comes back. He hasn't been back here, but he is in the garden, main garden. So I have to get more of that castor oil stuff tomorrow. I gotta go into Kentucky and get it, but everything is growing nice and good. All these peppers doing really good. These tomatoes, I'm happy that they're bouncing back. The peppers that were left in the greenhouse that were slow to start, yeah, they're still slow. Oh, everything is growing and growing. This okra, we're so disappointed in it. We didn't start these from seeds this year because of everything that was going on. So I bought them. It was a 6-pack for $1. And yeah, that's as big as they get. The ones I start from seed, should be over 6 foot by now. And these guys don't put out as much as the other ones. So like I said, I can't stand the vegetable. I only grow it for the flowers, and I give the okra away. This tomato plant is getting huge. I'm trying to defend the sun. That's the one that just popped up, just started growing here. So I left it. It is an Amish paste. It's got 2 good sized ones going on it right now, but I picked 4 off of it yesterday that probably weigh almost half pound to quarter pound. It's just, they're huge, and they're going to be perfect since I'm going to be doing salsa. My eggplants have bounced back from whatever was eating them. I got 2 my ichibans, and I'll probably eat them probably this weekend. I don't know, not sure. And then the sweet potatoes this side are doing good. I've got them training to go along, climb on the fence instead of the inside. What's left of Mark's kohlrabi here, I cleaned this up so I can plant some more, and my borage has gotten huge. I've never had a white borage before, but her flowers are white. Usually the ones I get are purplish blue, but she is just gigantic. And look what I've been doing all afternoon. It's all cleaned up. I almost twisted my ankle a couple times because I was pulling and my foot went through where the damn vole was digging. And so I walked through and stomped it all down. But I've noticed I've got cannon lilies growing. I don't know how they got there. Only thing I can think is the bird ate the seeds, the birds pooped it. Or after the end of the season last year, we just cut everything down, threw it in here until it dried out and whatnot, and then we put it into the jungle over there. But I would figure if that was the case, they would have started growing sooner. But I'm thinking of bird poop because I got another one I noticed too. So I've got 3, 4 of them growing right there. So, yeah. But I'm tired. So most of this came up pretty easily. You got crap there, crap there, crap there. I'm just going to take the lawnmower over it. Came up busy. It's other than the crabgrass that was a pain in the ass. As you can see, the bent sunflowers, but they've got their heads. And they're still blooming. Well, one already opened. I'm sure if she wasn't broken, she would have gotten a bigger head. So, But I did keep what was going right here and along the fence and out front, because they're still putting out big gourds and stuff. So I kept those. The rest of everything was just literally eaten. Like, you can just see his tunnel system. And he just literally went right up, and he's back. I know he's back because I can tell on the tomatoes there, and then the cucumbers. So, but this is all. I'm going to put diatomaceous earth down to kill whatever squash bugs or whatever is on top of the soil. And then I'm going to plant sunflowers for fall. But that's what's left of my gourds. I had a lot more gourds, but I've got to throw those too over there. I've been throwing them in the jungle over there. They have big bites out of them. Not like little bug bites. I mean, literally critter bites. So, but I gave my neighbor across the street a couple of my acorn squashes, because I'm the only one that eats it. So, but, all right. The Sherry Kill Ya peppers are still full. These habaneros are just, Mark and I are so impressed with these few plants here. Let me get down. Ugh. These habaneros are literally gigantic compared to some of these other ones. They're just huge. See, most of the other ones are coming out like this size, and these things are like 100 times bigger. And these are not even the big ones. That one's, I've got some in the house that are like 3 times that size. So we don't remember if we bought these or we started them from seed, but we're going to keep seeds from these because they're gigantic. But I went through and picked a bunch today because everything was ripe. So we're making salsa this weekend. I mean, some of them are still struggling from that storm. I mean, they're growing crooked and this and that, but I'm just supporting them. As long as they're still alive and putting out, I'm happy. Mexican sunflower is still kicking. Surprisingly, she looks like she's healing herself, because even that part down there was broken, and look, she's putting out flowers. I got probably about 30 heads off. Hello, bee. Hi, sweetie. And but I left a bunch on here because the birds, the little finches and sparrows, they like to eat them. So I do about 30 or so heads, and so I can get the seeds out. Cucumbers are pretty much toast. The vole just went, like I said, went right on up, and I've been stepping on it. But I have a few that still are struggling, but they're still putting out. I just picked like 5 the other day. I mean, yeah, they're homely looking, but they're still green, still got flowers, and they still giving me cucumbers. So I've started some cucumbers. But they're struggling just to, pop up. So, in the buckets, but I think I might start some in the, seed starts and put them in the greenhouse, and then I'll put them through here. Now, Sherry eats, these pepper plants, as you can see, this one, it's leaning, and every time I try to stand it up, it just leans, even with the stick, because the stick is there. We're just leaving it going. It's still alive. But these plants got messed up more than any other of the peppers. So, and Mark and I are so happy with these Jimmy Nordellas. And I guess, Mike, you like it? I guess Mark said you like. Make sure you collect seeds. Let me know how you made it the other day. So, but yeah, these are all the bells. We've been picking bells. We got several reds off and oranges, but right now these are all small right now. The tomato plants, but survived the storm and the vole. It's full of tomatoes, full of flowers. They are bouncing back. excuse the mess. I've been weed eating. I just haven't cleaned this up because I was like, oh, I'm done. I need a water. And then my little sister's supposed to be calling me in a little bit. And then my big brother, Bill, I'm supposed to let him know when I'm off phone with her so he can call. Oh, I'm so popular. Well, they all called yesterday and I kind of ignored the phones because I was asleep. But see, you can see the ground. The little son of a bitch is making a tunnel right through there again. Yeah, he's digging right there. So I can always tell when he's coming through the outside. So I got to go get that stuff tomorrow from Home Depot in Kentucky. But I have a pumpkin. Actually, I've got two. One up front, one up here. But this one is good size. He's getting big. Out of all those gourds, this one turned out to be a pumpkin. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin. And I had some smaller ones, but apparently they didn't get pollinated because they died. But I've got some other starts that are starting. And Mark's jicama, I was told by an older Mexican man that I should not trellis my jicama. Because if I want more jicama, I have to let it grow on the ground because it's like how sweet potato does and just grows like that. But jicama, wherever it attaches to the ground, it will grow a root, a tuber. And so I'm going to give it a try next year, but I'm going to try it in ground, but or like go way over there where I usually do stuff. So yeah, but I've got a couple more months of these guys. All of them, even the back, have got their seed pods. So this is where you get your seeds, but you have to wait until they turn brown. So, and these you cannot eat. You can't eat the leaves. You can't eat the pods. You can't eat the flowers because they will make you sick. Only thing you can eat is the tubers. So, but they're growing. Hi, bumblebee, right in my face. I'm sorry, I disrupted her. I guess she was on the flowers. Where are you going now? And I moved them. And the sweet potatoes are just gigantic. They're creeping up the fence and they're also on the other side of the fence. So, but yeah, I got bird dropping sunflowers. But they're out. They're getting there. So those I've got, I think, until, let's see, July, August, September, end of September. So I've got almost, well, at least another month before I pull them. So Mark's kohlrabi just been eating, but it don't matter. It turns into butterflies and little moths. And we've only had a few actually eat the balls. But as long as that grows and gets a little bit bigger, Mark and I don't care if the leaves get eaten. We don't eat those leaves like collard greens and turnip tops. Ugh. So Mark only likes the ball of it. Some flowers. All right, let's go inside. Yeah, it's a mess in here. The tomato plants are slowly bouncing back. I haven't found any at all this week of bruising on the tomatoes, so I think whatever was bruised, I've pretty much taken them all off. But they are bouncing back. They are full of flowers and tomatoes. Now this one here, it was so blown over, and when it fell, a lot of snap, but I couldn't get it to stand back up, and it just keeps growing this way, so I put on one of my trellises to keep it going. It's one of my whites, so it looks like I got a good bunch in there. So I just at this point, how it's growing, I'm just letting it grow. I mean, some are more thinner than the others, but there's some that have bounced back, and they're turning into the jungle, and they're intertwining again and into the canopy, which makes me happy. So, I mean, I thought I lost everything with that storm and when everything was tipped over. So you can see the almost is growing and growing and growing. Yeah, it's one of the limbs. sticks that came from the tree with that storm, but it works good. It's what, 7 foot, 8 foot branch, so that tomatoes growing up on it. So I mean, a lot of them are still bent, but they're just growing, and I don't care, as long as they're growing and putting out tomatoes. So back here, Mark's jicama through here is even better, and they've got their pods seem to be turning a little bit more quicker. So no butterfly eggs yet on this milkweed. On these sunflowers, Mike, they just get bent over and they just grow. Hell, they're even taller than the ones you're growing, and they're just bent over, even the ones on the ground. Oh, talk about sweet potatoes. Told you they're coming in. Oh, they're all up and down the fence. And the hummingbirds like it. They scare the hell out of me in the morning when I come out. I'll be feeding the birds because I put it, stuff on the thing, and they'll be hiding in there. It scares the hell out of me. And then Mark told Mark we've got to plant his raspberry bush. It is just going ballistic, and I need to get it in so it can be trellis. It's not, so I wanted to put it on the fence between ours and Sharon and Tony's, but Mark says we can't because our gas line runs underneath the fence. So, oh, and the vole is in here again, like I said. I just water the hell out of his trail, and Jake started trying to dig him underneath there, and I just fill it full of water. So the tomatoes that have been broken off, once they got roots from the water, I've been sticking them in dirt. I got a couple over here too. Let's see, they're doing good there. I just let them grow wherever I've got free dirt. I do have my first moonflower, not on this one. I noticed when I was watering a little bit ago. Where are you at? Right there. She should be opening up tonight. Yay! So I'm not going to come out and look at it. I'll look at it in the morning because once the heat gets it, it will close. So yeah, this Mexican sunflower, I cleaned it up from when it fell and coated in mud, but it's just not happy. I'm almost tempted to take it out of its bucket and put it in the ground garden. So now this milkweed hasn't given me flowers yet, but it's giving me these pods. So it's weird. And then this milkweed, it gave me a bunch of flowers, and the bees and butterflies loved it, but I haven't seen any, butterfly eggs on it. So here's some more that were broken that I put in there, and they're doing well. These guys are, a lot of these guys I need to, that one doesn't have, but there's some, you can see the roots that, I've got to get them in the ground this weekend. Empty buckets. All these got emptied into these raised beds. I'm going to put some zucchini and squash back in here. I had diatomaceous earth the hell out of it because I had a bunch of ants, and that's what killed all those other everything that was in these. So, but I don't see any more movement, and I've stirred the dirt a couple times and don't see any movement. So I'll probably get the zucchini and stuff put in there. These flowers and flowers and flowers. These zucchini cucumbers, they all crapped out, but I did plant in here, and they've been like this for a week now. So it's like they're not happy. So I don't know. It's weird. They get plenty of sun. I don't understand. So more of my broken sunflowers, but they all got bent to hell, but they're there. These cherry eats are doing good. My jalapeno is full, and they're good size, but I'm not picking yet. I'll pick them, let them get a little bigger this weekend when we start making salsa. So, but yep, it's full. The shintos are full. Only thing I'm missing, once again, is my habanadas. But I've got those Jimmy Morellos, so Anybody local, my mint is ready to be harvested again. I'm not mint, shit, I'm tired. Basil. So all the basils, all 6 different basils are all ready. So if anybody wants basils, hit me up, let me know. So, this milkweed is starting to bloom. So, but that's pretty much how everything looks. It's surviving. I do have dill going again. So, yeah, now that all my cucumbers have crapped out, my dill decides to grow. Oh well, if I if I get some more, that's fine. If not, I'll just let it go to seed and the bees will be happy. So, but that's how everything's looking in the buckets. So everybody's happy. Zinnias they got bent so bad and they won't even stand up straight even though I've got them all tied. But I've got to move some of these peppers around because they're getting shaded. So, and all these sunflowers, they're full of bees right now. And I do have another teddy bear. So I've actually grown 2 teddy bear flowers, sunflowers. So I do have another teddy bear one. But, yep. So I got them all tied up, but they're so linky, and anytime the wind catches them, so, oh well. Like I said, I've got more. I'm going to be planting tons of sunflowers this weekend. So that way I have sunflowers all the way through September, October, and into November. So I'll plant a bunch, a couple rows tomorrow, and then in a couple weeks I'll plant a couple more, and that way that they can all come up different times. And the hummingbirds are all flying around. Why are you cranky? You got brand new feeders filled. I'm not sure if you can see. They're just flying around. And I did see another hummingbird moth, but we haven't seen any more of the Alice in Wonderland caterpillars, the horn tomato worms and hookworms, whatever they're called. But Mike, the black light does show up. Thank you. But I don't come out every night and check because it tracks so many bugs and I get eaten. But I just wanted to show you a quick update. And plus, I keep forgetting to send my brother my stuff. So once I get this uploaded, I'll send it to him. Oh, you're going to be perched up there now? See if I can get a better view of you. Nope, she flew. We keep this stick right there, and it goes all the way down. It broke a few years ago, but cucumbers usually climb up it, but the hummingbirds like to perch up on it, and then they watch. So, all right, I'm going to get off here and call my baby sis. I'll see you all next week. Talk to you later. Bye.